Hello, welcome back to the Floating Film Podcast. It is your host Luke, and today is our 50th episode special. Congratulations
to us. No.
So I mean, we decided to take a break from late Studio Ghibli and kind of just we kind of decided to
after Goro, you know.
Yeah, Goro put the.
We're coming back to
yeah. Me, it's like have to take a break from Studio Ghibli. Yeah. But what we're basically gonna we're doing a thing we might come back to every once in a while, like maybe like for these like milestones. We haven't really decided yet, but we decided to call them like what did you say we should call them? I always forget what. Checkpoint picks, basically.
That way we can just come back to this kind of idea.
Yeah, basically it's kind of like a riff on our like first episode where we use the Oscar categories, and we basically just like they can just be things like different categories we want. We set different categories and then we just like say movies in those categories that we want to talk about, and they don't have to be like specifically like a specific genre, but it can be like a certain aspect of it.
Honestly, what I kind of like about this is kind of just in its summation like a reason why to like movies. There's not one reason. You know, there's basically you can invent so many different categories of why, and then you can based on that think of so many different movies. You know.
Yes.
And this is just one. That's why I want to come back to this. You know, every now and then. So
yeah. So I'll go and introduce my co-hosts. Blake.
Yeah. What's up?
And Danny.
Hello.
And I guess
just get started.
Let's get started. The first one we're gonna go with is a pretty short one. Best line in a movie, just like a certain line. I'm not gonna say best before each of them, like the Oscars, but a line in a movie that you love that's like stuck with you. And so
I think we should go like each person goes first, a different person.
Okay,
you know what I mean. So I'll go first this time, I guess.
Okay.
And then Blake would go first next time, and you'll go first.
Okay, that sounds
kind
good.
of thing. We'll just go like that.
All right, so
if we can keep track, we'll see.
Yeah.
But
I think I can keep track.
I can keep track. Yeah. All right. So honestly, I think this is a good way to kind of just start the episode too, because it's like. And part of the reason why I wanted to call it Checkpoint too, because I think, at least for me anyway, I'm going to treat it more of just like movies I've just been thinking about lately since the last time we do it, or something.
Just movies that you haven't talked about.
It's not necessarily only new movies, because
I've
been rewatching a lot more recently. So, just movies that have been on my mind. So, this is from An Autumn Tale, Eric Rohmer's movie. And the quote is, "There's lots of ways to waste time. This one's no sillier than any other. It's a little game that amused me, even though it's a bit dangerous." And it's like, honestly, I think because like Rohmer to me he's like a very novelistic filmmaker. You know, like a lot of long conversations, just like kind of just like you're getting in that world really well. Like, and but he's kind of, at least to me, he's kind of saying that's what films are too. Like that's kind of why, at least in my mind, that's why I watch films. You know, like people could say like you're wasting time watching old movies, and to a certain degree I am. But it's like, would I rather watch that or just most TV shows that people watch or like video games? It's like that's the thing. It's like no sillier than the other, basically.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of special reasons, like what we're going to talk about, is why I do watch them. So yeah, that's why I love that. I think Rohmer knew that too.
Oh, for sure.
And a lot of his movies are like that too. They're not overly serious.
Also.
Yes, he does.
He does. There's certain directors who are just like quote machines, like Chris Marker's like that.
That's a good way.
Orson Welles, like
dude. Yeah, honestly, yes. Like it's more the essayistic filmmakers. Like
there's just so much potential.
Too.
But
what about you, Blake?
So mine is actually from Greg Araki's movie Totally Fucked Up.
Wow, I was not expecting that.
Okay. It's from a character named Andy, and it's all I really want is to be happy for like 1 second. Be able to look around and not just see shit and say, hey, it's a beautiful day. I want to enjoy life while I'm still young enough to appreciate it. That's what it's all about, right? And Totally Fucked Up is about 6 kids that basically got kicked out of their parents' houses in LA, and like basically whenever all like the AIDS epidemics happening and all that shit.
Damn.
So that quote is literally, and I don't want to spoil anything about the movie, so I'm not going to, but the quote is the best quote for a reason in that movie, and it stuck with me because of how the movie ends. It's so, and we're going to do Greg Araki eventually because I love Greg Araki.
I mean, I was kind of thinking about him recently because like I haven't seen any of his movies, but I did see like he was on some critic polls on in the sight and sound and stuff. At least what I saw on Twitter.
Well,
and stuff,
well,
so,
well
like,
deserved too.
Yeah. His movies look interesting.
Mine's not gonna be as philosophical or whatever as y'all's probably. Like, I'm not saying y'all's are like super philosophical, but like, mine's more of like kind of a funny one. But it's specifically, I had like 5 quotes written down for one movie. And that movie is F for Fake, directed by Orson Welles.
I guess this. Oh, dude. Okay, so when Luke got here today, I said, "Is it gonna be F for Fake?" Of what yours is from, and you kind of just laughed.
Yeah. So the one I've decided to go with is let me set the scene for this quote because it's important.
Okay.
So Orson Welles is talking about his career and how he basically faked his way to becoming a film director, and he was basically talking about his broadcast of the War of the Worlds broadcast, the famous radio broadcast he did where people actually thought the world was ending when it was really just a radio play. And him talking about that, he has probably the most baller-ass line I've ever heard in a movie. He said, "Somebody down in South America did an imitation of the broadcast and he ended up in prison. So I shouldn't complain, I guess. I didn't go to jail. I went to Hollywood."
Yeah, that's a great line. That's a great line.
It speaks for itself.
And maybe as a hint for a future series?
Maybe.
Maybe.
There's a few hints to it. There's a few.
You just don't know yet either.
Yeah, I kind of put a few of those directors I'm thinking of. But, I mean, there's like 4 others I can name too from it.
Honestly, favorite line's the one we could probably come back to a lot. Because there's just, I mean, obviously there's so many, like we've been saying.
Yeah, there's so many lines that are fake. I could name a bunch. But, yeah. Anyway, so next one we have is best score. Or just score.
Best score or best song? Which one first?
Score. I'll say score first. I should stop saying best. I keep telling myself, don't say best. But, yeah. Just score.
Unless you want it to be best, I guess. But.
I guess, yeah.
It is favorite.
It's my favorite score, yeah. Favorite score. And also, we should mention that for some categories, we kind of did our own criteria in a way.
If you do have something specific, just please mention it.
Yeah.
So, like score.
That's an important part.
So, this one might... it's not even a cheat, but this movie is just all music. And the reason why I love it is because of the music. And it's Throughpod.
Oh, okay, good. I thought you were going to steal mine for a second. I got really nervous because you'll understand why. But that's a really good pick.
No, I was debating between this one and Mind of Clay because both those movies use the exact same. Like, I mean, they use the sitar perfectly. Like, it's just such beautiful music, and it works for Monty Call because he's such a poetic filmmaker. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
And Throughpod's literally about the music and why this music existed and like the different type of ragas that these great musicians would play during specific times of day for the emperor or whatever, or the king, and how they literally just had like lineages of just musicians. That's one reason why they were so amazing, because they were literally born and raised to do this. It's also kind of like creepy sometimes whenever you actually think about stuff like that, but the music behind it is the reason why it's amazing. Like, it's basically just playing this music the entire time, and I loved it so much.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
I just realized we need to start like making letterbox lists of all our like drafts and stuff, and like lists like this, because like
honestly, we should create a floating through film like playlist.
Or letterbox, just letterbox.
No, but for music though.
Okay, music. Okay,
yes.
But like even for like create like a letterbox list of like.
Okay.
Certain episodes that movies we mentioned.
Honestly, we'll have to keep track of our picks and put it on the list. Yes,
I just thought of that. That's a good idea. But
because it's on tape too, so we can't forget it.
Yeah. But because I have no idea what movie you said, to be honest. So I'm like, what movie is that?
Throughpod? Money Calls.
It's spelled DHRUP.
AD.
By the way, that's if you wanted to find on Letterboxd, start like that. Because whenever Dave first told me that, I had no idea.
Just look up Money Call.
Just look up Money Call.
Letterboxd.
You'll find it.
Okay, good enough. But okay, so my favorite.
And it's on YouTube too. Important.
Yes, it's very important. Only 50 minutes as well.
Damn,
also important.
You're convincing me.
No, it's like 70, I think.
I thought it was 50. But
let me check. It feels short.
Hey, 70 also.
I'm pretty sure it's feature length. So
I mean, 50 minutes is technically a feature. I'm pretty sure.
40 minutes is the minimum, I think, technically.
Like, it is 72. Let's go. Even better. Even more music.
Even
more music than I thought.
Oh, dude, it's not about the time though. It's literally about the music. You know, it's like because that's one of the great things about that movie though is. Most of the way people listen to music now is just short songs.
Yes.
You know, and it's like not even an album or something. It's just like random songs. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a different experience. Like, and that's what he's trying to create. He's trying to take you back to how people back in the day would listen to music, at least in these kingly courts and stuff. And what this music was kind of designed to do, you know?
Like literally designing ragas for specific times of day.
Yes, and to get you into like kind of moods almost based. Yeah. Just the whole thing, like even like the way it echoes in the building and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's an amazing movie.
It's fantastic. Yes, I didn't even watch it too, honestly.
So I'm terrible at describing what I like about a music score. So I kind of want Danny to put as one of the songs on the episode, but I know
we're gonna debate that probably after.
Yeah, which I'm gonna tell you guys the score, and you guys are gonna understand why I want it. It's a new favorite score of mine, kind of. It's for a few months now. It's the score for The Conformist.
Okay.
I actually realized I should look up what the composer's name is because I need to credit him for this. And so The Conformist is a Bernardo Bertolucci movie about a fascist guy who's kind of how should I say this? He's kind of a wimp in a way. He's kind of lame. But he's basically movies showing him he's only becoming a fascist basically to fit in, to gain approval. And the thing about this movie is you hear that and it's like he's part of the movie he's going to assassinate an old professor of his that was that's like a capitalist or whatever, or anti-fascist. And so it's kind of like a political thriller, but then in the movie the cinematography and the music is just absolutely amazing. And the score, composed by Jorge De La Rue, who did the Jules and James score, and he did Contempt, Godard's Contempt, yeah. Yes. But again, I don't know how to explain this. How good the score is.
It's hard to explain it. That's the thing.
Dude,
it's just music. You just can't put in words. That's why it's music.
Here's one thing about it though. As soon as I finished the movie, I didn't love it, but I could not stop thinking of the score. It's that good. It sticks with you, which is a sign of a really good score.
I mean, hopefully all three of our hopefully we're picking a good score like that.
But yeah, it's so good, and I'm gonna have to fight for my life to get Danny to play this. But I'll try my hardest.
Okay, but mine is honestly, because that's the thing. You can say that about mine too, and I think Blake will agree. Is mine is The Countess from Hong Kong.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, dude, it's amazing score, and even if I understand people don't like the movie as much, I still like it. It's a fun movie too. It's Private Life of a Cat.
Yeah, okay. So
my god.
Because people do say that it's their favorite on certain days. I can see it. It's a fun movie because it's kind of a self-aware movie. It's an old Chaplin. He's not even in it most of the time, but there are a lot of gags his son is doing. Sidney Chaplin's doing a lot of his gags and stuff. But music-wise, though, in a way, it's still the music is why it's proof that it's really Chaplin though, because all of his movies have a musical quality to them.
Yes.
But this is basically this movie is just all music. Even the characters are just part of the score basically. Yes. It's he really made this movie just so he can make a fucking score for it. And just seeing some of the behind the scenes stuff of him, just how excited he was to work with the live orchestra and everything, and it's just a great score too. But and honestly, just the fact that Chaplin was just a musical genius too. It's just another great aspect of him. So. Yeah, Countess from Hong Kong. That's why I was scared you were going to take that. But
no, I would have chosen Limelight if it was a
Limelight. I thought about Limelight. I just like Countess from Hong Kong because it's more just... It is purely about the score. I still love it for the most part.
I rewatched
Limelight, dude.
Because Limelight's so much.
Dude, the score makes me fucking cry in Limelight every time, dude.
Especially when I hear it now because you think about everything that happens in it. Yeah.
I rewatched it this week. And now it's my second favorite Chaplin.
Okay, see that's the thing. Every time I watch a Chaplin, why is this one? This one probably should be my favorite.
The Circus is now my number 3 favorite Chaplin. City Lights is number 1 now, which is completely different from my
Modern Times though.
Modern Times is number 4.
Okay. See, I'm not gonna argue with the whatever because they're all great movies.
Yeah, they're all great.
City Lights is one of the most perfect.
And they're all different kind of genres too. It's basically that's why I like they're a little.
I'm so mad at myself. I didn't love it when we did the podcast episode on it. It annoys me.
You still liked? I think you came around to more by the end.
I still liked it, but there was something in me that was like, why don't I love this more? And then I rewatched it.
That's what a rewatch can do.
And it was like, oh my god. out of body experience. But
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, we picked all good ones.
Next one is best song, which is kind of similar to the score, except basically we kind of thought of this as like a song being like you speak words in the song. I'm not a music guy really, like with music terms. Is that specifically what a song means? Or
Sure.
Like,
No, it's not specifically what song means.
That's what we mean. That's what.
But yeah, it's like it's specifically, at least in this one, like a musical number in a movie. Basically.
Okay, that's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm starting.
Yes, sir.
So mine's from a movie. Has become a recent favorite of mine this year, and none of you guys have seen it, so I can't give away too much about it because a lot of why I love it is its place in the movie. It's Nashville, the performance of "I'm Easy" by, God, I forgot what the guy's name is. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. It's "I'm Easy," performed by Keith Carradine. And so, without getting too much into it, basically, his performance in the song, it's not just the song in the movie, too. It's what Robert Altman's doing with the camera during the scene. Perfectly, completes, three different character storylines perfectly.
Okay.
He perfectly ends basically their character journeys, three of them, really well. It's such a good moment in the movie, but I can't say why because it's so good though. Oh man, I need to force you guys to watch Nashville, which I know you probably will. You're saying you've been watching some Altman, So.
Yes. And I watched my first Altman.
Yeah. So
I'll watch those.
I've been really getting into Altman recently, so.
No, I'm
possible next series, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of hints today for me. So.
Okay, so my next one, or my favorite song is a movie you watched recently. It's in Four Nights of a Dreamer.
Yes.
It's the song on the boat.
I thought about putting that one.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm glad you didn't.
Okay.
Well, I have a backup too, but on YouTube anyway. Because dude, the only reason I know I found the song is on YouTube.
Wait, what is it? What's called?
It's apparently by a person called Batuki, and then it says Porto Seguro.
Taking a picture.
I haven't heard of the band or anything. But anyway, it's just this is part of Bressan's whole thing, and why he's so good at music is partly one of his basically his theories was, or one of his rules anyway, was basically to never use non-diegetic music. Basically, never to use non-diegetic music. So only to use music that's in the scene itself.
Yes.
So he only wanted music to feel realistic. So basically, his movies don't have music for most of the time. But so when the music does show up, you really notice it.
Yes.
And so in this scene, Four Nights of a Dreamer, it's about kind of a young will they won't they couple,
disillusioned romance.
Yeah, disillusioned romance because she has just lost her boyfriend and he's kind of stepping up, but
yes,
stepping up. That's you can say it's you can interpret Bressan's movies in a bunch of different ways because the characters never are.
You have to project
exactly. Yes, you have to project. Yes, when his music does hit, and this is probably one of his best moments, is they're kind of on this bridge, and all of a sudden you see this boat underneath with kind of just a
Brazilian band,
group? Brazilian group or maybe Portuguese or something.
Something like that.
But the what's that called? A Riviera or something. It's just a river that's and a boat's traveling under the bridge, where they hang out basically, and then but they stop and they go and look over the edge just to listen to the band that's playing under the river for this crowd, and you listen to the whole song slowly as the boat goes under the bridge and stuff, and they just watch it the whole time, the whole song. It's 3 minutes, and it just takes its time, to show the whole song, one shot basically, and then you watch the boat go off in the distance, and then it just ends. They don't talk about it really.
Doesn't he say there's 1,000 possibilities?
Yeah. Well, yes. That's the because after that she cries on his shoulder, and she says something because she's still thinking about her former lover, and then he goes, "There's still 1,000 possibilities," and she goes, "That's true. I hadn't thought about that."
That's a great line. We have to keep that in mind.
No, that's one of Bresson. This is another theme for me. I'm gonna probably pick him in the future soon. So that's one of his central themes of his movies is the whole idea of just the world is infinite. Basically, there's still 1,000 possibilities, and that moment. And he has little moments like that where you're never expecting that And while the way the whole movie's going, you're never expecting them just all of a sudden to start listening to music for three minutes.
Yeah. And there's multiple musical interludes in the movie too. Like
there are there's a couple hippie ones and stuff. Like that's why the music stands out in his movies because he doesn't use it that much basically.
Okay,
but so that's my song. What about you, Blake?
So mine, I've talked about this movie before, but I needed to have this one in the song category, and it's from Loctodrome. And it's, I don't know the song name, sadly, obviously, but it's just the scene where, I know Danny's seen this, but it's a scene in Hungary, and we just see this little kid and his mom, and the mom is like you can tell like she's really sad. And the kid sees this band of music, or this music, like this band of gypsies, like over across a railroad track, and so he goes over there, and basically asks them like, "Will you play for my mom? I can pay you some money just to cheer her up because she's like basically having a really rough day." And then they just like look at him, and it's really good because like they show you like the director actually shows it from the child's perspective, like you're looking up at them basically, and they're just laughing at him, and then they hand him his money back, and they go over there like while playing music to like cheer his mom up, and it's just such an amazing scene. The reason I love music because like that's what music can do. Like it can change around a bad day very easily if you like just hit on a right song, or if something like that happens. Like obviously your day would be changed. But it's just that's one of the reasons I love music, and that was why I had.
It's a great scene. Like, that's probably the scene because I don't remember too much from the movie. I need to watch it again, but like that scene really stands out to me. Like I'll never forget that. Like
it's just also filmed amazingly too
because it's a very documentary movie.
Yeah, so it's a documentary.
It feels like a magical moment in a documentary, which just makes it feel more real. You know. So.
Yeah. That's so good.
So next category we have is our cinematography category. And for this one, we are starting with Mr. Danny Joshua over here. Daniel Joshua.
Joshua.
So for this one, like, cinematography is like, it's almost just like asking what's your best movie because, like, you know, film is a visual medium. I'm not saying it's purely cinematography, but it's a visual medium first. That's why it's different than most of the other arts, you know. But I will. That's why my pick. I wanted to kind of at least talk about something that I've at least been thinking about recently.
That's kind of what I did from
But it's also a gorgeous movie. Is A Better Tomorrow, John Woo's.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you haven't seen it? I thought Blake would have seen it.
I haven't seen
oh my gosh! But this is true with all of John Woo's movies. But this is probably my favorite that I've seen so far. Is you don't when you think of action movies, you don't think of them as like almost like beautiful. You know, but John Woo's movies are like
for sure. No,
John Woo's movies are like gorgeous to look at.
Yes,
like he's using color like amazingly. He uses, but at the same time he's using explosions. You know, the same way you would like a painter would or something.
Oh yeah,
you know, and it's crazy. Like he's the best at it. Like you get so used to those little like flashing like explosions that he has throughout his movies.
Oh yeah,
but no, like in A Better Tomorrow, he's using color at least the best from what I've seen as well. And it just goes so well with like it's kind of like a brother gangster movie basically, you know. But yeah, you know, the kind of dynamics between them and everything. But the cinematography wise, I really just want to talk about how beautiful he is as an action filmmaker. And you don't usually think of, at least I guess maybe people that love action, they will think of it like that. And
there's a certain other action movie you haven't seen it yet.
Exactly.
You're
thinking about King Hu. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
No, I know. But okay, from what I've seen, but obviously there can be. I would say that's not the first thing you think of, but like I literally, when I think of John Woo, I literally think of him like.
I mean, Ron's an action movie.
It is, yeah, but it's a Kurosawa movie first. You know?
Yeah,
when people think of John Woo, they're not thinking of like gorgeous, you know, frames. Maybe
that's on them.
No, yeah, that's on them though. Exactly, dude. Like honestly, have you seen Wind Talker or?
I haven't seen Wind Talker.
Oh damn!
I need to watch that one. I've seen Hard Boiled.
That's Hard Boiled's amazing.
No, Hard Boiled is
too. It's so good, dude. It's a gorgeous movie. Have you seen Face Off?
No.
What? You haven't seen Face Off?
I haven't seen Face Off
yet. You have to watch.
No, I know. You've told me this so many times. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like again? Like
that's crazy. You're a John Woo fan. You haven't seen Face Off.
Yeah.
Nick Cage, John Travolta. No, Faces Off.
Faces Off.
What more could you want, dude? No, but like, I mean, I guess this kind of just brings up my point though. It's like. His stories are kind of crazy, you know. They're a lot, like obviously they're actually insane movies, but the way he frames them and everything is very detailed. Like you can tell they're very storyboarded, like very like he's putting a lot of thought into every frame, basically. And that's kind of what the dynamic of his movies, because you would think action, it's a lot of fast-moving cameras and stuff, but not for him, really. It's like...
Yeah, the only John Woo movie I've seen is Mission Impossible 2, and I hated it. So
fuck you.
What?
What are you
like
talking
that movie?
Yes, I like that movie. Oh my god.
See,
how can you hate motorcycle jousting? Oh my god.
Yes, that's... I mean, I don't see how I could hate a John Woo movie, so it's...
I was also... It was like 4 years ago when I watched this, so like I was like just getting into movies.
I was like just getting into movies.
Who knows? I could do a 180 on it, but I hated it so much.
I hate it. Damn, that's a strong word.
That was a strong word. The wrong word.
The wrong, yeah.
Hey, but all right, Blake, what are you gonna pick?
All right, so this is actually a hard one for me, or just I'm between two, and they're both amazing, and I really just need to flip a coin. But I think I'm gonna choose Carbon's Innocent Love by Kinoshita.
Oh, okay.
It was between this and Joan of Arc in Mongolia, and I feel like I've talked about that one more often.
Yeah,
so.
you did recently.
And I know I've talked about
this one
I've talked
too,
about
yeah.
Carbon's too, but like not specifically the cinematography, but like whenever there, I know on the Letterboxd little synopsis thing or whatever, they say it's like filmed entirely in Dutch angles. It's not like you said, but it is mostly filmed in Dutch angles, and he does that for a specific reason. I don't know all the reasons, but in some scenes, I actually like some scenes you can like make your own interpretation. Like I mean, basically every scene you can make your own interpretation of why he does it.
There's never
that's
a
the
moment
reason
in
why
the
the
movie,
cinematography is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Like oh my god, like and I still remember so many of this. Like I still just remember so many scenes just opening up like just framed normally. And then someone will start talking, and then like it'll just like he'll twist it. He'll twist it completely, changing your perception or trying to change your perception, like making you ask why, basically. Yeah. Like,
well, but like
I don't know.
Yes, but that's that's a good point because like in every scene you're always thinking about okay, why did he move it there or something. But like one of my favorite parts about that one too is also like you can tell he's just having a lot of fun with the movie. Mm-hmm. Like I think I saw a Letterboxd review or some review of it where apparently he made Carmen's Come Home so he can make this movie.
Yeah.
But that one's remembered way more than this one is.
Yeah,
which is,
sadly. Not sadly, but because that one was also in the running for cinematography, especially those hilltop shots are just insane.
that one's great too. But like you could tell, like he's having a lot of fun, but a lot of thought at the same time.
Yeah.
You know? But it is kind of just it has serious themes, but it's a lighthearted movie.
Yes,
which I like, and the cinematography is a big part of that. Like a very noticeable part of that too, which is just fun to watch.
Like I just thought of another scene just whenever. I know you've seen it, but whenever like the mom of this house wakes up, and then she was like walking upstairs to see her daughter, and it's like this one's like framed normally at first, and then like this guy runs out and like basically knocks her over, and the camera like kind of changes, it like goes like Dutch angle a little bit, and then like she's like looking like all weird, and then another guy runs out, and then she like looks at she's like what was she doing up there, and it's like her daughter lives in the house with her. And she looks at the like custodian of the house, and she's like, "You're a disgrace to your country," basically. Yeah. And then it like cuts to him like in this Dutch angle, like all close, and there's just a single tear going down his eye, and then just cuts to a bell ring, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is amazing!" Like,
no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, yep.
Yeah. Haven't seen the movie. But
it's on Criterion.
It is on Criterion. Yeah. I think all of
I mean, it better. That's the thing. I might have to buy that movie because I feel like that's something they can take off at any time.
Maybe.
I don't know how to buy it.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's like on DVD.
Get some insurance on there.
It's probably on DVD.
That's what makes me nervous about Criterion Channel because you never know. And they're like, all right, it's leaving now.
I never thought they'd take like some of Luc Godard's movies off, but they've been taking
like,
a lot of them off recently.
Like, you never know what company will be like, okay, we want to sell these movies now, so they bought the rights or something. But.
Like Alphaville's leaving this month, and I was
Alphaville's left like a million times.
Well, that's true.
So it's been leaving for a while, and like
it's been leaving
Criterion doesn't even have that physically.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have it. It's like a different company.
I don't assume that. What?
Yeah,
they don't have Alphaville.
I did not know
that.
Damn.
At least it's out of print. They used to have it, but
okay.
So.
They just haven't like.
That's a cinematography.
Probably the right.
That's
Someone.
A gorgeous movie.
I think Kino Lorber might.
I might have to watch it again this month because I did hate it.
You should, dude. Oh, dude, it's amazing. It's some of the best black and white ever.
Yes.
You
give it 1 star your first time? Okay.
Oh, what? I don't want to get into this. I remember that. Oh God, that's crazy. You should watch that again.
Okay. You should watch that again.
I probably should. Okay, so for my pick for cinematography, I just mentioned Danny a moment ago that John Woo isn't the only beautiful action director.
Okay.
Mr. King Hu is as well.
Yes, sir.
And I picked a recent watch of his, Legend of the Mountain.
Okay.
And
Haven't
really,
seen this one yet, okay.
The big standout in the cinematography department on this movie is the way he just shoots nature, and the lighting, the beautiful lighting, and then even like the action scenes.
Which movie are you talking?
Legend of the Mountain.
Which movie? No, yeah, I know.
Okay, that's a good point.
I don't get it. I haven't seen it, so...
You could also say the same thing for...
It's like an inside joke.
Yeah, like...
well, yes, if you have seen a King Hu movie, you would have understood.
Yeah. Oh, man. And, like, yeah, the scale of it, and then, like, even the fight scenes when there's, like, magical stuff happening, like... he uses like these colored like smoke.
I've seen Raiding in the Mountain. I haven't seen.
And like Legend of the Mountain's more of his like surrealist film compared to like a Touch of Zen, which Touch of Zen's like more like his journey to enlightenment, and then like Dragon In's like more as like action comedy. But Legend of the Mountain is just it's beautiful, man. Like there's nothing else you can really say about it, but oh my god, yeah, Danny, get on it.
All right.
So
I'll get there.
Yeah, you're watching it tonight. No.
You're watching.
It's like 3 hours though, isn't it?
Dragon In's like
it
2
doesn't
hours,
matter.
so you can watch that. But yeah.
I've seen Goodbye Dragon In, but I haven't seen Dragon In.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about your take on that movie either, because that's terrible.
Okay, yeah, it's been. I don't have a take on it.
I don't have.
Okay, I respect that. Okay.
I don't have a take on it.
So I guess our next category is best scene. Basically, it's a we both just
seeing
a scene that we're gonna like talk about like why we love it. Just a specific scene in that movie, which I like. So.
This one, I think I'm starting on this one. Right?
Yeah, you are starting.
This one's really hard, honestly, because I had a lot that I want to choose from. But I'm gonna stick with the King Hu mold.
Let's
go with Touches In, and it's the first reaction shot we get of Yang and the general fighting, and then like they're fighting and they basically take down these two other ninjas or whatever, and and then it just cuts to Shishun and the other guy just sitting there going like just mouth agape, just like going like what the fuck just happened. That was literally me though, because like before he cut to them, I literally said, "God damn," because of what they just did on screen. And they cut to that, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. This is a perfect scene, man." Like, it's so good. But there's so many.
You could say anything.
Exactly. There's so many. There's so many in that I could say.
This is basically just us like guilting Danny.
No, you're definitely making me want to watch it.
Yes, but yeah, and I don't. Well, yeah, I'll give a. I want to give one. The other one I really wanted to do.
He's like, I have to get another one.
I did. Well, yeah, the other one I really wanted to do was Vertov. But I think I might wait, just because I don't know if you guys will do it. Do you guys have a Vertov one that you're going to choose? Okay. Because it was going to be Enthusiasm whenever they're hammering.
Oh, yeah.
The synchronized hammering.
So that's mine now.
Okay. That was the other one that I was thinking.
That's like more like a moment. Like, that's like... But that whole scene, though...
The whole entire scene is amazing.
Yes,
the whole
that
scene.
song and stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a great pick.
Alright. So, for mine, I picked a scene from one of my favorite movies of all time, The Red Shoes. And it's specifically the ballet sequence in The Red Shoes. Basically, it's a 15-minute performance of the ballet of The Red Shoes, which basically the whole movie's centered around. It's the center of the movie, basically. You're leading up to it, it happens, and the rest of the movie is basically what happened after it. And what's so just amazing about this scene is, like, it's kind of like, like, I feel like this is kind of other movies have done this before, where a performance in like a theater, like a performance like in a ballet, when it starts, the audience is completely taken out of it. You don't really see the audience until the end.
Yes.
But what Powell and Pressburger do is that they just make it a completely different world. It's not even a stage at this point. It's just like you're basically in the ballet, like at the location where they're at, and with Technicolor 1948, and with like the most beautiful Technicolor I've ever seen. And it's like. It's okay. I don't want to be cliche here, but like it's basically like movie magic, basically. Like there's no other way to describe it, and the music that goes along with it, the colors, it's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Is it better than the Limelight ballet scene, though?
No.
Yeah. What? Okay.
As someone who's seen both.
Oh my god. Okay, we don't count your opinion though.
I haven't seen The Red Shoes.
Martin Scorsese said about The Red Shoes. He said it's a song that plays in my heart. So I mean, if Martin Scorsese says it, you know, like
he's got some bad takes, but
okay.
you know, we all do.
Saying the Limelight Ballet is crazy. Like I love that scene, but like this scene is like insane.
I mean, dude, because when you were saying the ballet thing, and like when the director goes from just filming I thought of the Limelight.
I thought of Limelight.
This one's different. This one's different because. This like it's different.
The color,
the color adds so much.
It's more about all the characters in the movie, not just like one person. Or more about her.
I think it's about the shoes.
It is about the shoes. Do you remember what? I can't say it because like I don't want to spoil like what happens. Okay. But like.
I think Blake will like it though.
Oh, probably.
But you better like it because I don't know.
I liked it. I liked it. What did I give it?
You were like, oh, no, you had 3.5, and and the whole time you're like, oh, I was thinking of this other noir movie the whole time. Nah, French Can.
Yeah, like, French Can. Yes. That is a better movie. Yes,
that is a better movie.
If I ever watch something, I'm just gonna have to say to you, like, oh, I was just thinking of the red shoes the whole time. Like,
I mean, that's the problem. Yeah, like, you might have to wait a while before you watch.
I'll have to watch both of them unless you guys know which one's better. So.
It's just crazy that you're just like, oh, okay.
Neither of them are the Limelight.
I still like the red.
You're shitting on it though. That's the thing. Like,
I wasn't shitting on it.
Like when I
just compared it to Limelight. You know,
when you watched it, like I really asked you about it. You're like, I don't even remember that sequence. Like I don't. What are you talking about? Like,
did you just bring the scene up so you could call me out?
Yes, that's part of the reason. All
right. So we'll play this test with my scene.
This is one of my favorite scene. This is one of my favorite scenes of all time too. It's like top 5 favorite scene. If I had to rank them at all, it'd probably be top 5.
Alright.
But yeah.
Damn. Okay, I'll rewatch it. Scorsese does love it. I do know how much he loves it too. Like he's the one that got restored and stuff.
Yes. So. Thank you, Mr. Scorsese. Thank you so much.
And Technicolor, like, dude, because I watched Vertigo.
Yes.
The other day, and like. Technicolor, it just, you know, just
it
you can't compare. Like when we get all these like ugly ass movies today, it's like,
when's the restoration of Iron Man coming?
Oh my god.
Okay. So for my next pick, this is definitely a hint for my next series, which is spoiler, going to be Ozu.
Yes.
Okay. And I was going to save this point for the series, but I was like, I might as well just do it now because it is kind of just like a scene that I've been thinking about a lot, and I told Luke about this scene. I think last week, a couple weeks ago. But like Eric Romer had this quote in this book when I was reading last year. He said, "Films maybe are the best medium to show what a true miracle could be." And I always thought about that, like basically what he meant by that. And I really didn't understand it too much, but kind of like watching Ozu and then maybe some other directors too. But really, Ozu is basically kind of like making you see the world in a certain way where it's not from like any single perspective.
Yeah.
You know, and based on that, you can kind of see things in the world that you wouldn't have seen based if you're just solely in your own perspective. And the scene I have is from An Autumn Afternoon. And it's like, you guys have both seen a lot of Ozus, I think, now at this point. So
I haven't seen Autumn Afternoon.
It was when I first...
Okay, but you'll understand what I'm saying, because like, the classic Ozu staple in this movie is like when the friends are drinking together.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, at a they're having like the friends are drinking together one night, and so this is happening where two of the friends are there at dinner drinking, and it's like the waitress that they always have, like, and their friends are there at this point. It's like kind of implied. She's like, "Where's the third friend? He's not here by now." And they're like kind of like playing a practical joke on her, and Ozu does this a lot too. But they're like basically like, he died. They tell her he died, and she at least from what I'm watching, she looks like she's actually kind of worried about it. And they say like he died because he had a heart attack because he had too much sex, basically.
Oh my god!
Part of the movie is like he had married young.
Yeah.
And they're kind of making fun of him about it, like, oh, why'd you marry young, you know, all that kind of stuff. And basically, and so she leaves, at least from what I remember, and like this is how I'm gonna remember it. She leaves like actually worried about it.
Yeah. And
they're kind of just playing a joke on her. But then the camera cuts right then. It cuts to the outside shot from her leaving their room. And then from right when she leaves the room, he walks in. And so, like, and you can kind of see her, like, she just has, like, a shocked face.
Yeah.
And it's basically kind of like a little miracle moment of, from her perspective, she thought that guy was dead, and then that guy just walked through the door.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And it's just like a little moment. Like, he has a bunch of moments like that. And you could see it from, like, the audience perspective. That's, like, a miracle, you know? Like, all of a sudden, like, she thought a person was dead, and then they're alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, like, the camera has to move there for you even to see that, you know? But... we'll talk about it throughout the series. I'm definitely going to bring this moment because he has a lot of moments like this in his movies, and it's like But this is the one that really always sticks out.
One of my favorite Ozu scenes is in a bar in a different Ozu movie, Tokyo Story.
Okay.
There's a scene in a bar.
Dude, they have some great bar scenes.
I don't know if I should explain it, but...
Okay, we're going to do Tokyo Story.
Yeah, we're definitely in Tokyo Story, so I'll explain that because it's one of my favorite Ozu scenes. But
yeah, spoiler alert for a theme that's coming up in the series.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
Love Ozu.
I'll have to start watching Ozu again. Get prepared.
Oh, we will, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I already...
I will be forcing you to watch Ozu.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, just to get... I need to finish The Silence.
See, that's the thing. You've probably watched some more Silence.
I've watched them. Well, I'm up to Through a Woman of Tokyo. That's where I'm up to. Haven't got to I Was Born, but
that's crazy. So you've only seen all of his earlier stuff.
Yeah.
So
I've also seen like his big or some of his
Tokyo
Tokyo
Spring
and Tokyo. Late Spring. Yeah. And then I've also seen like
the big thing about this series is what are you gonna cut?
My father,
honestly?
Our Father.
There was a father.
There was a father. I've seen that one. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that's the silent though, isn't it?
Yeah, the silent. Oh no, you're thinking of a talkie.
Yeah, no, the one with the kids.
Good Morning.
Good Morning. Yeah.
Damn, you've seen Good Morning when I was born, but
Yeah.
What order are you watching these? This is crazy.
Good Morning was my first Ozu.
Okay. So I was like, you watched
it is
that
a good
one.
first
Yeah,
Ozu.
okay,
Good Morning's
okay,
a great
okay.
first Ozu.
It is, but that's a remake though.
Okay,
I was born, but
but they are different. They are
different, but like basically all of Ozu's movies are like remakes of older
older
movies.
Ozu
Just
movies.
slight differences. That's kind of what makes it amazing. So, but yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah. So our next category is sci-fi. Your sci-fi, your favorite sci-fi, the one you want to talk about right now.
Did you say your favorite scene? Oh yeah,
yes,
you did.
Yes,
you
the
did.
Red Shoes. But so
Dave forgot that already. Don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. But for my sci-fi pick, I picked Andrei Tarkovsky's Solaris.
Okay, haven't seen this one yet.
Oh my gosh, how? No.
That was one of my two options. So I'm glad you said that because
okay.
I just came up with another one like 20 minutes ago.
Damn.
That was gonna be my pick. So
Okay,
I'm glad I have a different one though.
Yeah. I mean, what's there to say? I mean, for Tarkovsky, there's just like a certain mode he always puts you in. That's just like he puts you in this like kind of trance state, and this is like one of his movies he does that the most. You know, starting from like the opening 40-minute scene where you're on Earth. Like, is it? It's probably more than 40. It's like 50 minutes, isn't it? And it's like extremely slow. The way he's moving the camera, it's like very like, it's very entrancing. And then once they get to space, it's like a huge film about like identity, wanting someone but they're not real. How someone deals with not them knowing they're not the real person. They're just like a copy of someone else. At least that's my interpretation.
So it's like Michael Bay's masterpiece, The Island.
I mean, I don't care.
Let's go.
Damn, that's okay. But just stick with the Solaris though, because like I just said, it was gonna be my pick too.
Yeah, I was gonna compare it to. It feels very like Vertigo-esque in a way.
Go further.
Because they're very similar, honestly, when you think about it. Like not very similar, but like in a way their themes are very similar. Basically, I mean, Vertigo's more about obsession but like the women in the movie are very similar. Like
this kind of memory, having a hold on you, basically.
Yeah, knowing you're not the real person, and like, and that's why I've come up with a theory. I've seen no one else say this before, but like the scene in Solaris where he goes into the library and she sees her staring into the painting. Yeah. I think that's a homage to Vertigo. The scene where Jimmy Stewart's character sees Kim Novak's character staring at the painting. Yeah, it's shot in a very similar way.
Yes.
But yes, Solaris. And then the weightless scene in Solaris. Yes, my god. And amazing ending. Like.
And one of my favorite things about why I love that as a sci-fi movie, because with most sci-fi movies, it's not a bad thing, but most of it's kind of like there's the human side, and then there's like the other alien, and that's supposed to be the kind of it's not necessarily the evil, but that's the big theme of the movie. Conflict. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Whatever. That's what's hinging on it. But Solaris is like it kind of tricks you to think that that's what it's gonna be about. Yes. But it's really just they go to a different world, and the world kind of sucks him in. You know, it's just like he's already there by the time. You know, like he's just like on a ship wandering around, but it's not really about like him having conflict with that world. You know, it's. at least there is conflict, but it's more about his memories and
yes,
stuff. You know,
it's himself. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Man.
No, but that's the thing. It still feels like a sci-fi movie. Like the way we're talking about it doesn't feel like that, but when you watch it, like that's why it feels still like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, and people say like Stalker. Like Stalker is kind of similar in a way, like how it uses that. It's a sci-fi movie, but like they get to the sci-fi world, and there's like
that's kind of what I'm saying. Solaris is like that too. You know?
Yeah.
You know, even though the ending, last shot of Solaris, that's very sci-fi.
That's the only Tarkovsky.
And it's also
oh my gosh,
it's also like 160 minutes, and it feels like an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, it goes
it's
by.
insane. Like, I love Tarkovsky.
That's a good pick.
Hot take there, but I mean,
all right. I think I'm next, right?
Yep.
So my other pick, and this is kind of a movie that's kind of in the same kind of vein of this type of sci-fi, and it's a movie I rewatched recently. It's Memoria.
Oh,
which, you know, it only becomes a sci-fi.
I haven't seen, but
the ending makes the whole movie a sci-fi when you rewatch it.
Yeah.
Because she's basically.
Don't tell me the ending. What?
Wait, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
no.
fuck!
Yeah.
Shit.
Come on.
I was about to talk about it. Okay.
I think I
Damn.
because I've actually thought about watching that.
Oh man, yeah, I'm glad. I was literally just about to spoil the shit out of it. So.
Thank God.
You've seen it though.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we watched it together. Yeah.
That was too close for comfort right there.
But it, all I'll say is like, it's a sci-fi in a way that's like, makes you feel still in the world of a different planet, not just kind of the conflict between Earth versus a different planet. You know.
Yeah.
And it's still a very personal movie too, and it you know just takes your thoughts and a lot of ideas once you know that kind of sci-fi element to it. Because it's not on the surface really. Like on the surface, it is kind of just just another weird ethical wandering movie. But
Let's go.
I mean, Cemetery of Splendor is it's a sci-fi movie
no,
also.
Yeah, he does. No, he does too. Because even Uncle Boomy has certain moments, I think, because it has like a.
There are moments,
is
but
Uncle Boomy
that's more like spiritual, not necessarily sci-fi.
No, I'm forgetting the one that has like the future, where they go to the future all of a sudden, and it's like through photographs.
I
think it might be
Tropical Malady.
Oh, is that Tropical Malady? Okay,
Wait,
so
really?
Yes.
And it's like
Tropical Malady is a huge thing about like past and future and shit.
Yes.
But that's also Cemetery of Splendor though too.
So that happened in
That one, I think that
Wait, no,
that one's the people like memories like where they're like laying there and they're tapping in like the.
Yeah, I don't think that happens in Tropical Malady.
Tropical Malady is like kind of like mythological.
But like he doesn't cut to the future. Though.
No, I think that was
because
like
I watched
more
it like
present day,
I watched it
actually.
a month ago, and I don't
No,
know.
they
that
say
was more
something
like-
about the
I rewatched
future.
it.
I'm almost positive. Well, I'll have to we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
But
I don't remember that because I rewatched it a month ago, but my memory can be.
no, you watched it most recently, so we'll go.
I just
with
don't
it.
remember that, but.
But either way, Memoria is definitely sci-fi. Well, once you've seen it, you'll see what I'm saying. But yeah, Memoria.
Blake.
Mine
Is that you still have to
is. Mine's a very me. It's a very me pick.
Okay.
You guys haven't seen it, obviously.
Oh.
It's Godzilla Final Wars,
Yeah, that sounds like a Blake thing.
the last Godzilla movie. Well, not the last
where is this
one,
able
but
to?
the
Where
last
can you
one,
watch
so.
this?
On the high seas. as
Criterion
we would
has
say.
a lot of them. Doesn't
This
it?
one's not.
Okay.
This is the last of the. It's like 2005. I can't remember which era this one's technically. I think it's like Heisei maybe, but it's literally the best. It's the best Godzilla movie because it just takes all of the old villains that Godzilla's had to fight before, puts them all in one movie, and makes them fight them. It's amazing.
Damn.
The best.
I mean, you got
movie,
me.
dude.
So.
It's the best fucking movie. It also looks.
Do you have to
amazing, too.
watch the Godzilla other ones to understand this one?
Probably helps.
I mean, it would
I was
help.
kinda
It would
kidding,
help
but I
with
still
just.
feel
It would
like-
help
I'm
like
just a
it would help with
completionist,
the love
so,
of the
yeah.
monsters. But I mean, it's also the last few movies in this era are so fucking insane. Like it doesn't really matter. Like you can just watch it and you probably have fun because like it's insane
Who's the
sci-fi
director?
too.
Do you know? I was just wondering. if someone heard of it, so-
Ryuhei Kitamura.
Oh,
Ryuhei.
Ryuhei Kitamura. I actually like that. I actually like the director. I'm glad you had that pulled up. So
Yeah.
All right. You said what's it on? Or do you own it?
The High Seas.
Oh, the High Seas. Okay. So do you have it though? How did you watch
I
it?
think I do. Well, I watched it on the High Seas, but
Oh, you just streamed it though, or do you have?
I just streamed
but
it. It's
yeah.
on. Okay, it's not. It's on an archive.
Okay, I'll
probably.
find it somewhere.
Most of the Godzilla movies are on an
Yeah, that's true.
archive,
They are
so.
kind of popular. So.
So next category is horror. The horror
Okay.
genre.
Is it my pick?
Yes,
first?
your pick.
Oh,
All right. This is maybe I don't know how you guys are gonna feel. Maybe my first most controversial pick, but I think I stand by it. Varda's Leibonheur.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That's a good pick.
I mean, to me, this is like honestly.
Whoa! Why are you like
It's not a horror movie.
Come on.
Dude, it's a horror movie. It's a horror movie.
It's very cynical. Like
it's a cynical movie. Cynicals are not horror.
No, but it is. It's a very dark movie. Yes. Like, and that's the thing. Like on the surface, it's very bright and very happy, but then when you know what you know is happening, and what you know you've seen it? You've
seen it.
Yeah. Basically, what you know.
That's why I looked at you so skeptically.
Okay, but
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. I don't
what's his name in the movie? Francois. Basically, Francois in the movie.
Yeah.
Like. He basically becomes a villain. He's a villain.
Yes.
You're watching a villain,
and
like basically he's almost like a serial killer-esque.
Yes.
Basically, how easy he's able to be with his family, be happy and stuff, but at the same time, basically killing her, like breaking her heart.
Yeah, and he thinks he's in the right the whole time.
Yes, exactly.
Especially at the end.
He's got that kind of serial killer aspect to him, but just like like he can't even see it.
Yes,
you know. And then so when she dies at the end, you know, like. He still can't see it. Like it's almost like that's the horror of it, you know. And it feels realistic too, because you know this happens a lot. Like basically, guys that are so much in their own ego, like they can't see the damage they're doing to other people. But
what a final shot!
Yes,
haunting final shot.
I know. I mean, this might offend a horror fan, but like Blake. But
did you rewatch it recently? Or?
I haven't. I mean, I rewatched it last. We did it for the episode last year, so yeah. But no, because right when I saw it, I was like, okay, I still think I can defend it. It's a horror movie in my head.
I agree, honestly.
It's a traumatic movie. Aren't most horror movies about trauma, Blake? Are most horror movies about trauma?
Blake's the horror gatekeeper here.
Of course.
The horror gatekeeper.
Oh, yeah, what horror is like when there's blood on the screen.
Horror when bad things scary.
Yeah, but there's bad things scary in this.
It is. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Exactly.
No, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
All right, Blake. I'll pick him. What's your pick?
Mine is Cure.
Yeah,
Kiyoshi Kurosawa.
I don't know. It's like a psychological thriller. You know, it's not really
horror.
horror.
That's not horror in my book. You know, horror is like when there's a monster on the screen.
To be fair, the guy is kind of a monster.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he is. Yes, exactly that. But
and there's some supernatural stuff in horror. In Cure
Cure is very supernatural.
Yes.
No, I mean this is one. It's the movie that got me into Kiyoshi Kurosawa, who's honestly one of Japan's better horror directors. Because he also did Pulse, and he's also done a lot of other great horror movies. But I mean, the reason I chose Cure, I love it. That's literally the reason why.
It's just reviewed it though, didn't we? No, we didn't.
No, we reviewed Pulse. That's another one of the reasons I chose Cure is because I like these movies basically equally. But we've already talked about Pulse, so we'll talk about Cure eventually also. But I mean, the movie is literally just framed insanely too. Like it looks. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I've seen it twice.
Oh, okay.
I watched it with you too.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay.
Come on.
I forgot about that. Okay. No, but it's just framed immaculately. Like every single frame of this is amazing. But it really is just a combination of like psychological thriller and horror. Bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Bro, I was getting back at you.
Yeah, we were making fun of you. With
okay, Leibon horrors. Okay.
Leibon horrors. That's an interesting insult. Leibon horrors.
Leibon horrors.
It's what you said.
I said Leibon horrors.
You said it again.
That sounds cool, isn't it?
It just
Leibon her.
Is that how you say it?
We're not French. We should not be
we're not
talking.
French.
Yeah,
we're all saying it wrong. Probably,
sorry, all the French people out there.
It's happiness. It's just happiness.
Yeah. That's a great. Oh my gosh.
That honestly makes it better because
yes. It's like Bresson
with money.
Money. Yeah.
Exactly.
Straight to the point.
What about yours? Horror.
I haven't gone yet. Yeah, you're right. I was about to say
because you're the horror hater here, really. So.
Okay, I wouldn't say hater. It's just like it's not really my thing.
Okay.
Another word for hater. Okay, but my horror pick is Peeping Tom, directed by Michael Powell.
Damn. I didn't know that was a horror movie.
It is. It's not like super.
So would Blake call it a horror movie you watched?
Yes, it's a horror. Okay.
Movie.
It's just like it's not your conventional horror movie. Let me just read the synopsis because I think that'll give you the best idea of what this movie's about. Loner Mark Lewis works at a film studio during the day, and at night takes racy photographs of women. Also, he's making a documentary on fear, which involves recording the reactions of victims as he murders them. He befriends Helen, the daughter of the family living in the apartment below his, and he tells her vaguely about the movie he is making. So basically, this movie is like, it's like, it kind of borders on like it's getting comedic in a way, more like absurd horror. But like it's not like depressing.
Good. You kind of got me already. So.
And just the way it's a lot of it's about like film, like the problems like with filming, like the female gaze, like voyeurism. There's also other stuff too, but it came out the year.
The female gaze or the male gaze?
Gaze on the female. It's called
female
gaze. Is it called male gaze?
Okay.
Female gaze. Okay, yeah. That I didn't mean the female gaze, but yeah, it talks a lot about all that, and it came out the same year as Psycho, and this one like ended Michael Powell's career. Like it was like such a flop, basically.
Really? Damn.
Until like like Scorsese and them like told everyone like, hey, let's
for what movie after?
Let's reevaluate Peeping Tom. Like it's like a really good movie because you know Scorsese loves Michael Powell for good reason. Michael Powell's amazing.
I mean, did he marry his daughter or something too, or?
He married Rossellini's daughter, or dated Rossellini's daughter.
I knew that, but I know there's some relation there too.
Okay, I didn't.
There's some relation there.
He's wanting to get closer to Michael Bell. No, I'm joking. Sorry, Scorsese, if you listen to this, but yeah, and I think Danny, you should definitely watch this because I know you love cameras. And there's a lot of cool cameras and cool camera stuff in this movie.
There's a lot of good voyeuristic kind of movies in film
and
history.
It's so good, and like there's so many great moments and genuinely creepy moments too. Like
Terrorizer is technically about voyeurism too.
Yeah, it is definitely.
So good. You need to watch Edward Yang too.
I've seen one.
You've seen two. You've seen A Bride Day and Taipei Story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, Jay's like
amazing movie. Peeping Tom, highly recommended. It's so good. But yeah, so our next category is best animated movie or favorite. I need to stop saying next. No, it's mine. I'm going first this time.
No, because I just went first last time.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like you're going.
Okay.
I'm a terrible host.
So I'm not choosing Ghibli, because we're doing that series right now.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna be saying our favorites at the end. So what I'm gonna choose is actually a Hungarian animated movie called Bubble Bath.
Oh.
And I've told you guys about this a couple times, I'm pretty sure, but Bubble Bath is just this ridiculous movie. Like, I don't even really fully understand what it's about. I know it's about like this guy's getting married. Like, this is the actual plot. Like, this guy's getting married. He doesn't want to get married, and so he runs to this other woman and basically tells her to call his wife and say, I'm not getting married. And then like just ridiculous stuff happens from there. And it's animated like this guy was on acid at the time. Like, that's literally how this is animated. It's got like some ridiculous musical numbers in it throughout the movie. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic, and people really need to watch more. Like, I need to watch more Hungarian animation too, because most of the Hungarian animation I've seen is amazing.
When you said Hungarian, I thought you were going to say Son of the White Mare.
No, I love Son of the White Mare as well, but this one, the animation style in this one is just the best, man.
What'd you watch it on?
It was on Mubi, but I think it's gone, but I'm not sure.
Damn.
Yeah,
it looks
great,
but Mubi has it might still be on Mubi, because Mubi still has a lot of Hungarian animated movies on there. But
okay,
Mubi, another great subscription service if you don't already have it.
All right, well,
sponsor us. No, I'm just kidding.
Please. I don't have a subscription to your service, but if you give me a free one, I'll definitely use it.
I will definitely use it.
Anyway, so for my pick for best animated. I don't think I've talked about this movie on the podcast, but we've all seen it. A lot of people have seen it. Paprika, directed by Satoshi Kon. Just balls to the wall, the most insane, but like also amazing. Like, it doesn't get like too insane where it's like, okay, like this is taking me out of it. Like, it's like beautifully orchestrated madness, in my opinion. Like, the way he uses dreams, and then like how the dreams infect reality, and just the animation is so amazing, and the story's amazing, and it's jam packed with just like cool ass shit, you know.
It really feels like it builds up to that ending too. You know, like where it really like basically uses like, you know, animation superpower where you can just do that. You know, you can't do that with a real film. You know?
And like it's very much an inspiration for Inception. As a lot of people say.
Yes. Even though I really think they're different movies.
They are different, I think you can because Paprika is also better, but
better, but not by much.
I do love Inception.
I do too.
So I can't like.
Dude.
I can't hate Inception.
Even if it is a live action Paprika, like no one can make a good live action anime. It's like one of the few then.
Yeah, but like
how many good live action animes are there? Not very many. And like, dude, if we are getting live action anime, why wouldn't you want Leo and fucking Tom Hardy?
No, that's true.
People always say like it's a bad thing. Like why is this like it could be a good thing?
That's because it's Paprika. You know, like people
They're
don't
both
watch.
good.
They
You can
need
have
to watch
different movies.
Paprika.
One has to be good.
One's better.
To be honest, I would rather rewatch Paprika.
It's
I would
also
a shorter movie.
Exactly, 90 minutes.
But also,
90
like,
minutes.
if they're the same
90
length too,
minutes,
I would
yes.
still rewatch Paprika.
I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
it's because the animation is amazing, and
Inception gets like maybe a little too complicated for its own good. But,
Yes.
but I still like it.
oh no, Inception's
I
awesome.
I love Inception.
Yes.
Yeah. But,
No, Satoshi Kon's just like literally one of the best animators ever. So
yeah, you can pick any of Satoshi Kon's movies. And,
yes, like like what you were saying about Paprika is what I would have said about Purple Blue if I chose it.
Yeah,
So.
it's just like it's amazing.
Okay.
He
Blake
also has
kind
one of
of.
the best Christmas movies in Tokyo Godfathers, but okay.
So
Go, Danny.
Blake kind of said like, you basically undercut what I was gonna pick, but I'm still gonna pick it anyway because you said I'm not gonna pick a Studio Ghibli movie.
Oh,
but
okay.
I have to pick The Tale of Princess Kaguya.
Okay.
because it is
Well,
my
we haven't
favorite.
talked about this one yet.
No,
so-
and that's why I'm not gonna say too
Yeah.
much because we'll talk about it. But basically, it's my other pick would be Waking Life,
Okay.
the later one,
later.
and that one's just a really special movie to me. Like I just love honestly, that's a very good quote movie, like a quote machine movie too, because it's a very it's like it's an essay movie using the animation medium, and so that's why I wanted to pick Tale of Princess Kaguya because it is like. It's just one of the most beautiful animations you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Maybe in my opinion, the best. And like, you know, the way you said about when we talked about Yamada's with the kind of flowing animation where the characters are kind of creating the worlds. It's a very similar thing in Tale of Princess Kaguya too. But this one makes you feel like you're going back in time as well to that kind of time period.
Sure.
So.
No,
It
like
does
this one,
both
like
really
this
well.
one, like Taylor Princess. We'll get to this obviously in a couple weeks. But Taylor Princess Kaguya, like you're literally living a Japanese like watercolor painting from like back in the fucking 15th century.
Yes.
Like it's insane.
He's trying to create that feeling, but
Yeah.
like it has that epic feeling, but it's still very personal because of what's happening in the story, and and we'll get to it. So yeah, I don't want to say too much about it now because we'll definitely watch it. Coming up in a couple weeks here. So yeah, Tale of Princess Kaguya.
All right. So we're down to our two last categories. These two categories are probably going to be the most criteria dependent on what we pick.
For sure.
Because they're quite broad compared to the other ones. And this is, so the first one is the director category. And I guess I'm going first. So my criteria was just like someone I've kind of been falling more and more in love with recently, but also kind of like slowly over time as I watch another one of his movies every like few months or so. And that director is John Cassavetes. And so, do we need a? I wrote down a specific movie for this category. I don't know if we like.
I don't have a movie. So.
I don't have a movie.
Well, I wrote down my favorite is
it.
The Killing of a Chinese Bookie, but of course he's an auteur, so it's kind of a similar way he films it. What I love about him as a director is that he's not afraid to let scenes go on for like a long time. He's a big like improvisational director, and like what he'll do is he'll have these like long scenes where it's just like characters talking, but his camera is like always like. Kind of, he's always getting up close. His camera's just so like observational, but like it's still like very like you're in it with the characters. And a big thing about why he's such good of a director is he's so good with actors. Like there's so many performances in movies where like someone could say like multiple times in his filmography, this is like one of the best performances of all time because he's so good with because he's an actor himself. Ooh. And he also married Gina Rollins, who was in a lot of his movies. She's like one of the greatest.
I was gonna say because
like,
I've only seen 2 movies and it's been a while.
Yes.
But I forgot what I was listening to. But they were talking about how doesn't Cassavetes use a lot of like his family in his movies? Like, not only his wife, but other characters who are also family.
I think he does.
I'm pretty sure like he uses like other people related or very close to him.
Yes, because Peter Falk and Ben Gazzara, I think this is how you pronounce his name, but they're 2 close friends of his.
Yes,
and
and that goes with the whole intimate thing you were saying, like how his camera's able to do that.
Yeah, and apparently, like I read, like he like when he talks to his directors, he wrote in his book that he won't tell them exactly what he wants from them. He'll just say like vaguely like.
So he wants them to do it themselves.
So that when they find it, it's more authentic on screen. And also with Peter Falk, like being close friends with him, when John Cassavetes made A Woman Under the Influence, it was shot for like $15,000 or something like that, and he got like at least I think that's like what he initially put. It might be what he initially put up for it. But a big reason the movie was financed is like Peter Falk like read the script and like gave some money to fund it, and then like he would like basically he made it like on a shoestring budget and like would tour it to like different colleges and film festivals to basically make it be known.
Yeah, yeah.
And like Peter Falk starred in it too. Like I'm one of the
very
influences amazing.
filmmaker, basically.
Yes, he kind of did birth the independent filmmaking.
Darren did that first though. And she's
okay, but like Cassavetes is different. It's like indie, like modern indie cinema wouldn't be
yes.
how
No,
it is
I
about
know,
Cassavetes.
yes.
A lot of good, a lot of bad has come from Cassavetes because like people take the wrong things from him. People think his style is easily imitated, but it's not. But there's also been a lot of good that come from Cassavetes. People like the Safdie brothers take a lot from Cassavetes, like the way their characters are very Cassavetes-esque. Yeah, he's a director. He's a very interesting director that I've caught about for a series in the future, but. Yeah, love Cassavetes, but
yeah. All right. So I have like 2 picks, and I don't know which one. I think I'll go. You know what? I'll go with basically a director I've been kind of thinking about more and more. Like, and there's a story I want to bring up because you what you brought about with Cassavetes is the director I have is Buñuel, and because I don't think I've talked about him yet, and we'll probably do a series eventually. I kind of feel bad we haven't done him. Like I haven't picked him yet, but because he's one of my favorites. But at least one thing I really love about him is he's at least living proof to me, like of directors that basically changed over time, and they were able to continually make like new, different kinds of movies. Like keep trying to stretch what they were trying to do. They didn't come complacent enough to like I'm just Buñuel. I make this type of movie. Like if you watch his early movies. In the 20s. Like, his first movie is a 29 or 28.
Yeah, Unchained Andalou was 20,
but still, late 20s, and then he made his last movie, not Discreet Charm, but the other one, Obscure Object of Desire. That's in the 70s. So basically 40, 50 years apart. And he's still making like, and honestly, like because his early movies are known for being really formally like daring, they were just doing stuff film had never done before, that kind of thing, and they kind of are. But then the way I see Buñuel, his newer movies, to me, are way more like that than even his earlier ones. Like just the kind of subject matter his later ones go into, the whole aspect of like basically you don't like any of the characters. It's kind of funny, but it's also very deep at the same time. There's so many things I love about Buñuel, and the story I wanted to bring up, and before I end because I could go on and on, but.
Doing the series right now, right here.
Doing the series right now.
What you said about how Cassavetes works with his actors, kind of just wants them to bring the best out in them.
Yes.
And just basically not telling them too much. It reminded me of a story that I just listened to recently about Buñuel. Is when his first time working with Jean Monroe. Apparently, like
wait, what did he work with Jean Monroe on?
Is it Exterminating Angel? Maybe.
I don't think.
Does he not?
Because that's in Mexico. That was made in Mexico. I don't
Maybe
think
it's who's in Viridiana?
Viridiana? That's not Jean Monroe either.
I'm almost positive she's in Jean Monroe. Either way, it's some actress. Now you can.
I'll look it up. I'll try.
Okay, look it up. But either way, it might not be her.
Women all the same on women's.
But Jean Monroe has a very specific.
Oh, Diary of a Chambermaid. Yes, Diary of a Chambermaid. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Oh, look at me worried. I knew she wasn't a Buñuel movie.
I knew it wasn't the one you made.
No. It's
She's a stink face that I remember.
Yes.
That's one of the few.
Okay, because the story is about China. Because I think that's the first time he worked with her too. Maybe the only time, I guess. But she was worried. Like so, basically, Buñuel would basically direct most actors. He would tell them what to do. At least to some degree, even though a lot of his actors aren't very emotional and stuff. But with her, he would basically just tell her what Luke said about Cassavetes. He would basically be like, okay, you go here, you go stand over here, you say your line, that's it. And she thought like she was doing bad because of it one day. And so then I guess you know how a lot of actors work where they would tell the assistant director and the assistant director has to go tell the director because they don't want to talk directly and stuff. And so she basically asked like, why is Buñuel like kind of just, does he not like me? Like, why is he not telling me more and more? And basically his response was, I'm working with Jean Monroe. She's teaching me things. And that's why I'm just basically telling her to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
and I'm just learning from her. So like, basically, that's just the strength of a great director is knowing what your talent, who your talent is too, and playing to their strengths as well.
Sure. Well, I just found out Jean Monroe is in a Simon Long movie, so that's
which one?
Visage face. This one.
Oh yeah, no, that's the only one. Or I think that's the only one.
I tried to
seen,
find
actually.
it somewhere and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Dude.
So
Yeah,
we need to team up and like try and. Get
I
that.
found the DVD, but it's expensive. So.
Okay, but yeah.
Both of you haven't seen it?
No.
Yeah.
It has Jean-Pierre Law. I would have if I could.
And Jean-Pierre Law?
Dude, yeah. No, it's hard to find.
Wait, let me see if there's anyone else that's in the movie.
That's kind of surprising.
It's annoying.
Natalie Bay, who's in Catch Me If You Can and Day for Night. Okay. Simon Long's in his own movie.
But yeah, that's my pick. Buñuel. What about you, Blake?
So mine should be well, maybe not obvious, but my criteria is someone I've found over the last year, basically. That I really feel like I need to beat people's heads.
Okay, I already know you're
to like
doing,
literally
so.
like make them watch this person. But it's Ulrich Oettinger. Like she's literally the like maybe the most criminally underwatched like auteur on that I've seen at least. I mean, there's probably more, obviously, but I mean, like her most popular movie has like less than 3,000 views or like 3,000 logs on Letterboxd, which is insanely low for someone of this talent. Like, she's insane. Like all of her movies are insane. She hasn't made a bad movie. I've seen a lot of them. Okay, I sound kind of stupid, but no, but like literally every single one. She goes from surrealist like director basically to like directing 10-hour-long documentaries.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, and it feels normal, basically, because of the way she films her surrealist movies. Like, her surrealist movies at some points feel like anthropological archives, like I said in my Tiger review, basically. Like, that's literally what Taiga is. But that's what Joan of Arc of Mongolia is, too. It's just got this weird surrealist element, too, in it. It's like, she is just such an interesting director that more people need to try to find. And
if they're easier to watch.
Exactly, they are kind of hard to watch, but that's why I feel like I need to beat people over the head, saying like you should find these movies because they're worth it.
Okay,
like for sure.
Is there like a distinct way she uses the camera, or like?
Yes, she has a very lingering camera. Like she lets it hang on a scene and just lets the scene play out. She lets the characters and actors do whatever the fuck they want, basically. And Joan of Arc of Mongolia is my favorite one because it combines actors and like what she does basically in Taiga and her Alaskan 12-hour-long documentary, like just basically hanging on real people and letting them perform. Basically, that's what she does in Joan of Arc of Mongolia. But she also has actors that she brought with her along on this one. Basically, it's so good. Like her movies are so good, man. Like
you definitely sold. Like it's just hard to watch.
Yes,
I gotta.
Yeah, they were on Criterion. This is the problem. They were on Criterion, and then they all left the exact same month. So I mean, like.
Yeah, they need to be more available.
They do need to be more available.
See, that's another thing that makes me nervous about watching like movies that are leaving Criterion. Because like, what if I love it? What if I love the movie?
I never get to watch it again. Like.
No, I've experienced that. I'm glad Luke found Taiga at least because I love Taiga. But
I found Joan of Arc of Mongolia, but I can't.
There's
download. Like
the cedars aren't there right now.
It says there's one seater. I'm downloading off Pirate Bay, by the way, which is like sketchy as hell. But like, it says there's one seater, and then like it won't download. So
there are sketchier websites than Pirate Bay. So
okay, I the ones I've discovered, but okay. But yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so our
last pick.
Well, not last pick because we still have the surprise categories that we're all gonna tell each other. But basically, just overall movie. Best picture, basically. But so, Danny, what are you gonna?
Is it? I thought it was you.
I went first.
Damn. Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my pick is.
What's your criteria? Like.
Honestly, just a movie I've been thinking about the most kind of recently.
That's actually my criteria as well.
Yeah. You'll see why I pick it. Bresson's L'Argent.
You're thinking about the movie all the time.
Yeah. It would make sense. I've seen it a lot. I especially watched it a lot last year. And it's kind of just a movie. It has everything I love in it, like how the movie just, like, it just starts so simply, just from a person basically stealing money.
Yes.
And kind of just from that one basis, building the whole movie based on it, and it feels like it literally feels like every action just like creates a new action basically throughout the movie. Okay. But it's a movie. It's hard to talk about. It just kind of just. It makes me think about everything I love about Bresson in that movie. Like, I love all the sounds. I love all the colors.
The house scene. The house.
Yes,
the house. Yeah, I still think about that scene.
Have you seen it, Blake?
Oh, damn. The way he uses the lamp
No, yes.
In that scene, oh my,
Yes.
and then like, okay.
No,
yeah.
and kind of just because I mentioned earlier about there's 1,000 possibilities quote.
Yes.
The ending of this movie makes you think about that in just a whole different way. He makes you think about that quote in all the possible ways, not just because that could sound like a corny quote, right? It could be like, there's 1,000 possibilities, and everything's positive or everything's happy at the end. But he makes you think about it, not only positive but negative,
Yes.
Good, bad, like the whole world basically. It feels like the whole world's in that movie.
There's still 1,000 possibilities quote specifically. One of those, some of those possibilities are him leaving him, basically.
Yes.
That's kind of like the negative part of it.
Yes, exactly.
But, yeah.
Or the character forgetting that. That's kind of what that movie's about. Him losing that hope.
Yes.
But yeah, Larson, or in the English, it's just called Money. So, Money.
For song, good director.
All right, mine is my criteria was basically Danny's. Just like this movie, ever since I've watched it, has literally been on my mind every week, and it's Chris Marker's Layers from Siberia.
Damn!
There's a lot of Marker movies that are on my mind literally every week, but this one, it's not. I don't want to say it's the first movie that ever made me think of what the movie's saying might not actually be real, or like what the movie's saying can change it's not literally it doesn't. It's not technically real. Like they can make their own truth basically.
Yes.
Like it's not the first movie that ever did that to me, but it's the that ever made me realize that. But it's the one that made me actually realize just how insidious some especially now how some things have gotten, because Marker's doing this in a way to show yes, this stuff is going to happen in the future basically. We're going to have people show something like this in a great way, and then someone can come in and show something the exact way and make it completely negative, stuff like that. But it's also just it's literally what he does in Sans Soleil too. It's just a travel log also, which just makes it even better. It has both aspects.
Great. It also has a reindeer commercial.
It also has a reindeer commercial. Exactly. It's got so much stuff in it. It's got so much stuff in it. But it's literally just something I think about all the time now, just because
that
of
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that idea.
That one scene too.
Yes, that one scene is the scene I think about all the time. Along with the reindeer scene, obviously.
Oh, of course.
And it was before I watched Vertov, obviously, because Vertov makes you think about that in a very specific way, because he's doing it on purpose.
Man with the movie cameras about that.
He's doing it on purpose, too, which I love. But yeah, I mean, Marker's doing it on purpose also. Yeah. So that's one reason why I've actued kind of flipped my opinion on Godard, because he still is annoying sometimes. But I think he's making you more self-aware of what you're watching on screen.
Exactly.
Why is he putting that on screen?
Making you think about what you're watching instead of just experience it kind of just blindly.
I rewatched Sans Soleil, and it's really I've loved it a lot more, and I still haven't stopped thinking about it.
Yeah, dude.
Each day.
No, Sans Soleil. I also had Level 5 on here, because Level 5 is another one that I just think about basically every week too. Yeah. It's another Marker movie.
Where did you watch that on? Because I was trying to download that the other week, and I couldn't.
I think I have it. So.
Yeah, I think I watched it because Dan gave it to me, but I can't remember.
Give me your hard drive.
Give me your hard drive.
I'll give you Tiger.
No, it's on that channel with a bunch of his movies were on. Tubi? Weren't they a bunch on Tubi?
It wasn't on Tubi, that's for sure.
What did you watch a bunch of them on? There was some... Because you were watching a bunch of them on some streaming channel. I don't remember which one you had.
I mean, maybe it was Mubi that I watched Level 5 on. I can't remember. I think it was Mubi, actually.
Wait, no, it was the one where it's the white logo with a cross or something, or a X. It was some. I remember actually now. It wasn't Mubi. It was some random ass one.
Random ass one. Arrow, maybe?
No, it wasn't Arrow. I hadn't heard of it. That's the thing. I don't know. Who cares?
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. Watch Level 5 though. It's also.
But I think I have it. Yeah. Basically, I think I have it. So.
Basically, I think I have it.
Good for me.
But yeah, we're doing our surprise one.
Oh no, I still have the same.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So yeah, my criteria was just a movie that I've watched in the past, in recent times, that has really first watch has blown me away like no other movie. The other another movie that's really in the money was Nashville recently that I watched. I've already talked about it, but this movie is The Leopard, directed by Luchino Visconti. The Leopard is, I mean, first and foremost, when a lot of people talk about this movie, they mention the spectacle of it, the scale of it, which it's a large part of why the movie's so good. Visconti, he's amazing at creating these lavish sets where it's beautiful to look at, beautiful to be in. You love to be in his world, basically. Mm-hmm. And then The Leopard also is just beautiful as hell, because it's very there's not a lot of story in it in a way. It's very much about a noble family the head of it is he has a son played by Alain Delon. Like he's taking care of his family, but he's having to come to the realization that his reign of power is coming to an end, basically, due to the Italian reunification thing. I'm not expert on Italian history, to be honest, but
basically, watching an aristocratic family.
But a lot of what Visconti's doing is he's taking his camera from far away, he's just observing everything, like in like transitions between each scene. Like he has a scene where his camera's very like kind of watching like a battle going on, like a street battle going on, and like there's a lot of soldiers. It's like the spectacle of it, and then with all of this, like it's a lot about that, and then the movie ends with a 45-minute ballroom sequence.
Damn,
which is like peak cinema, honestly. Like it's so good, and basically you're watching the ballroom sequence go along, and then you see the prince or the head of the noble family. Basically, I should not spoil this anymore for you guys. But
no, I've definitely watched it though.
Also, Nino Rota scores it, and it's one of my favorite scores now. So amazing, but.
I think I downloaded this one from you. So.
Yes, he did. Yes, you need to watch it. Well, we might do a series on it. There's like a million.
He doesn't know yet.
It's stressful. I have time to think about it.
You do.
But okay.
But yeah, we should do our surprise one now.
So
Blake. I think Blake's.
It's me first.
So the way we're gonna do this is just give us 10 seconds.
So this is just a surprise category, but like just a question that we want to come up with to ask them.
We don't know the answer to the question, and the thing is, you ask us, and we answer it first, and then you give your answer.
Okay. But like, unless you guys need time, then I can give.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Because you might need a little bit of time with this one, because I really like this question, honestly.
Okay, let me look at my top 100 real quick. I need to be ready for this. Okay.
This one's about newer movies actually. What is an up and coming director you were actually excited for?
Okay. Actually, I know.
Okay.
Oh, you go. Okay, I have like two. I'll say two. And I'm probably gonna forget some that I also really excited. But these two have like been on my mind recently. First one, more popular pick, the Safdie brothers, obviously.
Okay.
I've been thinking about rewatching Uncut Gems. Recently a lot.
Oh yeah, I need to rewatch that also. I rewatched the last 40 minutes with my roommate a while ago, but and it was amazing.
But basically, like I just love how I briefly mentioned when I was talking about Cassavetes, the way they film like chaos and anxiety, but like also just like very they're like realist, but like they're not too realist. They're like controlled chaos within realism in a way. And I just love their concepts and how they shoot movies and their philosophy towards them. But yeah, Safdie Brothers I'm really excited about. Also, I'm glad they're doing another movie with Adam Sandler. That should be really good.
No, yeah, that should be really good.
But and then the other one I'm excited about is Kogonada.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I love both of his movies that's come out, Columbus and After Yang, and I just learned recently he's directing 2 Star Wars episodes for their TV show. So please, Kogonada, don't leave us. Okay,
don't leave us
next time. Oh no. There's a huge talent gap there.
Oh, sadly. Well, okay. Taika was pretty great.
Have you seen any of his movies?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you haven't. All right. But I just love how like slow and intoxicating his movies are. He can tell he takes a lot from like Ozu, Kiarostami, Bresson, because he is like a historian. Like before he made movies, he made like video essays about filmmakers. Like his Hands of Bresson video is amazing. And you can tell he's just a student of film history, and you can see that in his films. And on his sound ballot, he put 3 Ozus on his movie, on his ballot, you gotta respect that. But yeah, I love Kokonada. I love his approach to filmmaking. But those are the 2 that I like most. I'm most excited about. I know I gave you quite a bit of time to.
No, I mean you did, and this is the thing. I'm not as good with newer movies. Like
that's why,
especially like with international, which we talk about mostly international movies. I'm really bad with like newer movies with it.
Really?
Like,
yeah,
who do I know? Like, that's
too.
Like I couldn't think of too many.
I need to watch like Hamaguchi though.
Like this Weird Sceptical is not
Hamaguchi's
new,
a good
up
one.
and coming.
Hamaguchi's
like,
where's the
Hamaguchi? I've only seen Drive My Car.
Yeah, me too. I need to watch more,
but okay, so I guess, but the one that did come to my mind first, and he's obviously a big name director, is Jordan Peele. Because he's only made 3 movies, and like, like one of the ways I judge a movie is like how much of the images still stick in my mind, like even watching it, even if it's been a while.
Yeah.
And Nope is still stuck in my mind. Like a lot of it has.
Nope's amazing. And
I just like how you can he didn't set you could see a director making something like Nope and then be like, okay, I'm going to stick to this kind of formula or something. But he's still trying new things basically every movie. Like you would not guess that Nope and Get Out have a lot of similarities, like kind of with the characters maybe, but just in terms of the ideas and stuff, they're very different. You know, they're like they look totally different. You know, like
for sure.
You know, the fact that Hoyt wanted, was willing to work with them and shoot an IMAX and everything.
I heard that they all the night scenes are day for night too.
Oh damn! Okay,
I heard that after I was like, what? Like
that's crazy.
That's curious. Damn. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just Jordan Peele. Like I just think he's always gonna have interesting, big film ideas.
Yeah.
And so
I think Nope's one of the best movies that came out last year, and people
me
don't
too.
recognize it enough. Like,
no,
it's
definitely
so
not.
good.
Yeah. And I don't even love it as much as you guys do.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
I like it more. I like it more. I think I'd like it more if I watched it too again. But yeah, no.
So the reason I asked this question is because I specifically had two directors on my mind, and one of them was Jessica Bashir. She's I should have actually looked up where she's from, but she did this movie called Fayadai, Fayadai.
Say how do you spell that again? Say it. I wasn't ready.
Fayadai.
Jessica Bashir.
Yeah, Jessica Bashir.
Oh no, I haven't. Okay.
She Fayadai is amazing. It's basically a documentary about. Yeah, she is from Harar, or no, she's from. No, yeah, Harar. That's okay. I just want to make sure that wasn't the drug she was actually talking about in this, because it's basically it's just like basically a history of this place, of like her hometown, and it's filmed amazingly. And I've watched one other short that she's done, and it's called Hirat, and it's about another. It's very much she's very much a director, kind of talking about like the past and thinking about the history of a place and like how that affects the people in it, basically. And that's why I loved Fayadai so much. And that's honestly like why Herat, like this movie, it's leaving Criterion this month. Herat, it's just like a 7-minute short. It's about like this guy that goes out to like basically to the edges of this city every night and feeds hyenas. And it's showing like the connection between like man and like wild nature and like how that can like actually happen over like time. I don't know. She's a very interesting director, and I'm very excited to see what else she does, because she's very new. Like Fayadai is her first like actual movie, but the second one is Sky Hapinka also. He's a Native American from, I'm pretty sure, Oregon, but all of his shorts I watched left me thinking like, holy fucking shit. This guy is very talented, and he's using his talents right now making shorts, and he's making them in a very interesting way, because like some of his shorts are specifically made to be like watched on a phone and to be watched using earbuds specifically. Because I'm thinking of this one movie, I can't remember exactly which movie it is right now, but it's like there's a song playing on one side of your ear while someone's talking on the other side, and slowly like the distortions happen and they come together and then they switch ears.
Damn. Like
as you're listening on a headphones. And like I watch movies, like especially shorts, on my lunch break sometimes. And so I wouldn't have known this if I wasn't doing that. Like watching on my phone basically with earbuds in. But this is something that directors nowadays are thinking about. You know, like a lot of people nowadays watch movies on their phone.
Yeah.
A lot of people nowadays watch movies with earbuds. And so like it's just awesome seeing directors that are actually like thinking about stuff like that and thinking about how to make their movies for audiences that are actually watching movies like that, and to try to make them like basically give them content that's worthy of like the big screen, but for a small screen. Because that's kind of what Sky Hapinka is doing also. So that's the reason why I wanted to ask that question, because I really had like those two people on my mind that I wanted to get out there too. But
damn, those are on Criterion, right?
How did you watch Not them? Anymore. They were on Criterion, but they aren't anymore. They might be on there again, but who knows?
Well, no, the animal one's on Criterion still.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still on Criterion, but
which one?
This one?
Oh yeah, no, that one's leaving this month.
This month.
Fayadai might be on Criterion still.
It's
I'm
not.
not sure. Oh, it's not. Okay,
like,
damn.
But yeah.
No, that was one that I just watched. I watched that one before it was leaving Criterion because I was interested in it, and she blew me away. Like Jessica Bashir blew me away. So
okay. Well,
all right, Luke, what's your question?
So speaking of man's relation with animals, my question is your favorite use of a real life animal in a movie.
Ooh.
Damn. Okay, I think I know mine.
Okay.
At least one of mine.
Okay, actually, I do know yours.
Okay, what's one?
All-Star Balthazar.
No.
Oh, was it not? Isn't it the elephant from India?
No.
Oh, dang.
Okay. It's a movie that's inspired by Awhile Balthazar, called Donkey in a Brahmin Village.
Oh,
okay. It's a director from India, the state Kerala, but it's made in the movie's made in Tamil Nadu, and it's about basically kind of just. So the movie starts with this professor, and all of a sudden he comes home and a donkey just kind of wanders into his house, and he's like, I can't take up the care of this donkey. I'm gonna go take him back to my village. And so basically he takes the donkey back to his village, and the movie's kind of like, it's a very documentary aspect because outside of the professor, all the other people in the village are just non-actors. Yes. So you're kind of just seeing like a village, but the movie's about basically like, it's kind of got Balthazar themes of just this kind of donkey that's persecuted for no reason, but it's kind of an excuse to show you all these different types of people in the village through this donkey, and how like basically, you know,
that's Balthazar kind of does that too. It's like he's showing the people suffering.
Exactly. Yes. And it's kind of, but it's also, it has its own themes though about kind of just like kind of how like tribalistic religions can get and stuff like that, just very quickly, and even blame a donkey for it, you know, if you want, if they, you know, if it gets bad enough and stuff, and like and basically how, you know, people can blame their suffering even on just things that it's obviously not, just because they're suffering in the first place. Like, it makes you think about a lot of questions, but really I just love the whole documentary aspect. The donkey's amazing in it, and so
do you like it better than Awhile Balthazar, or
just the donkey's like funnier in this one. That's the thing too.
He's a depressing guy.
Yeah, he is. Like, and he's more.
He's downer. He's a real downer. You know.
This one's really funny. There's a lot of funny scenes too. Like, where like they're blaming stuff on the donkey that it clearly couldn't be in the donkey and stuff like that. But it makes sense in the movie. But it's just a great watch. It's on YouTube too. So
honestly, the best donkey movie though is Donkey Skin. We all know that.
We all know this.
No,
exactly.
It's not.
I love Balthazar. To be serious.
But those would be my other picks. The ones you said. Those would be.
Yeah, Donkey Skin. Donkey Skin is your pick, not
the ones you mentioned for me earlier.
So what is your pick? Because I don't want to.
You're gonna pick the monkey from Canada.
No. I was okay. No, I was gonna pick the cat in Private Life of Cat.
Okay, no,
or all of them, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were talking about this before, and I just have to do it to like kind of rub it in Dave's face.
Honestly. No, I love the cat.
No, like the way, it's honestly the way that my Darren makes the cat literally. I mean, like cats aren't people, obviously, but they do have their own lives. I mean, like all of our pets have their own lives, and it's just very hard to actually film a pet like this, or to film like any living animal like this, and make it an actual movie that makes sense, basically. And like you see this cat literally giving birth for the first 5 minutes of the movie, basically. And then after that, she's just raising her family for the last 15 minutes. It's amazing. Like
cinema, right?
It's literally cinema, man. Like
it is.
I don't know. You're acting.
No, all I'm saying is that my Darren, she's she's a a formalistic master. Like, it's just. And this is one.
I mean,
of her,
yeah.
And this is one of her like.
Stop.
It's just a fun movie. It's a great movie. It's a great animal movie too. It is.
Danny's just using fun as a derogatory term. Right?
Plus, there are more than one cat. He said one animal.
And I'm choosing the mother. I'm choosing the mother. I'm choosing the mother because she's the best one. But
it's really
the dad is also
pretty funny. One of the
it is a family
about is
exactly that's what
makes
it amazing
in a way, but you'll see.
Okay.
So I kind of have three in mind. I'm gonna name two, just briefly.
You have to pick though. Pick.
Yeah. So the ones I was thinking of doing was the monkey from The Cameraman and the cat from The Long Goodbye.
Okay,
but
those are good picks.
My pick is a movie I watched this week, Hatari, directed by Howard Hawks, and specifically he uses 3 baby elephants in that movie.
Oh.
That kind of just There's also a cheetah that's like roaming around their house like as like a pet. That's like really cute as well. But the way he uses these 3 baby elephants, and basically the thing is they follow this female photographer that around the whole movie. That's kind of the joke of him.
Yeah.
And the way they there's like she takes them to the watering hole and they're all following her. They always like only want to follow her. And then when she, like in the point at the end of the movie when they have to locate this photographer in the town. They use it. They try to find her using the baby elephants, basically. Oh, and it's a good idea. It's amazing. Oh, okay. Atari, by the way, it's one of the best hangout movies I've ever seen. It's so good. Like,
I love that poster too,
dude. It's so it's like 2 hours and 35 minutes, and you're like you want it to be like
damn.
You want it to be like
that's kind of long.
Dude, you'll see when you watch it. It's like you want it to be longer, honestly. Okay, it's one of those movies, but.
And I mentioned the poster because my question is, what's a movie you can't think about without thinking about the poster?
Okay, that's.
And I'll say my pick if you guys are thinking about if you guys have to look over it real quick, but because my pick is also the movie I picked for my best picture, or at least my the movie I just picked Largent, and it has a few, but if you go on Letterboxd and look at at least one of the major ones, or the one they have originally if you don't have Patreon is the Criterion one, but the one I really love is like the older version, where it has two people holding. They're basically holding the same dollar bill.
Yeah.
It's the one I have hanging here
in
my house, in my apartment. But it just kind of it has the theme of the movie right there.
Yes.
Two people grabbing the money, and basically but the movie's also about kind of just this transaction that money.
The Criterion one does that really well.
Yeah, it does that as well too. They both do, but this one I love the grabbing aspect.
Okay, the grabbing. Okay.
Kind of both like really grabbing on it. And there's like little blood coming down from it too. So. Yeah. But what about you guys? What are your picks? Which one,
first,
Blake? Do you have it?
I'll go first.
Go first.
So this one, there's really two. I mean, a lot of these things I have two. F for Fake was one of them because the poster with Orson Welles, amazing.
Yes.
But my actual pick is Close Up, the Criterion poster for Close Up. This one.
Yes. With the end of the movie.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't seen it, so
you should. What?
Yeah. You do this every time we.
Blake hasn't seen Close Up?
I didn't even. No, I haven't seen Close Up.
Blake's like whatever Creator Zombies he's watched is insane too.
I've seen
I've watched 10. Where's My Friend's House? And like.
Well, I've watched a lot. I've watched a lot of his shorts. Yeah, but.
You gotta watch Kurosawa. Okay. If you look at the Criterion poster, it just.
Once you watch the movie,
just watch the movie. That's my explanation. It's the movie.
But it's a great poster. It's like,
and it just reminds me of.
That's kind of what I was going for. Like, what's like a poster or just an image that makes you think of the whole movie?
Because in a way, it deals with like him basically impersonating a director. He's in front of the camera, basically.
Yes.
And that's kind of what.
That's what a good poster should do, right? Like,
and it shows the flowers too.
Yes.
So
it is great.
The ending is like I just think about the ending. I'm like, oh my god.
Boy, you Blake?
I mean, this is honestly a hard one just because there are so many.
There's so many. There's too many. I mean, just pick
there
one.
is too many. Shit. You're gonna make me choose.
Okay. Also, Record is another one. The Criterion poster.
Yes.
I just found the perfect one. It's The Wayward Cloud.
Simon
Leon.
I haven't seen that yet.
You'll understand. Well, I mean, you can probably understand just by looking at the poster, but this one specifically.
Okay, yes,
but,
watermelon.
Yes, it's
wow.
I honestly don't think about the movie without thinking about the poster first, just because of how insane the poster is.
That's what I was going for. Yes.
But yes, like that's. I mean, well, first off, The Wayward Cloud's amazing. We'll obviously do a Simon Leon. Both Luke and I love him. We'll do a Simon Leon episodes here.
Honestly, best living director right now.
He's definitely my favorite living director right now.
Best living director.
No.
He's my favorite right now.
I mean, are you saying Ristikov for your?
Oh, where's
I'd have to think about that. I mean, Scorsese's still alive.
Oh yeah.
Where's Seth Call also has Uncle Boon Me, which I can't think of without thinking of the poster either.
Okay,
yes.
But
Yes.
But I'll stick with The Wayward Cloud because like
I can see why.
Once you watch the movie, especially, you'll see exactly what scene. The first scene in the movie is basically what happens in this poster.
Okay.
And it's the most ridiculous scene you might have ever watched.
It looks like the most ridiculous scene I've ever seen.
It's fantastic. But yeah, that's my choice.
All right.
Had to get Simon Leon here eventually, you know.
Yes, sir.
I talk about him all the time. But.
We do, honestly.
Yes, we do.
Honestly,
the fact that we haven't done
the poster for Goodbye Dragon Inn.
Hey, honestly,
amazing poster.
No, there's a lot for this for. I'm just like, there's just some movies that even when someone mentions the name, you think of the poster.
Yeah, great.
But yeah, that was a fun episode, honestly.
Yes, sir.
Good checkpoint. 50th.
Maybe we'll return to this sometime with different categories or similar ones, but like, it's a thing to like basically kind of document where we're at right now.
Just kind of go back and look what we've been watching.
What's next week, Blake?
And next week we are coming back to another Miyazaki double feature, like we left off with last time. We're doing Ponyo by Hayao, and then we're doing From Up on Poppy Hill by Goro. So until next week, we'll see you floating through the clouds.